Hello everyone, this is Voltaire and welcome back to another Minecraft video. Now today's video I've got something a little special to show you, and no, it's not the mustache. You know, actually, give me a second. Swoosh. Ah, there we go. Much better. Yeah, I don't quite pull off the mustache as well as Mumbo does. Anyways, let's go on inside and take a look at all the redstone contraptions I have. First of all, well, literally I just spawned in like right here, saw those pressure plates and was like, yeah, those need to be linked up to that door, so that's what I did. Secondly, we have the his nice fridge, his very nice fridge, and it throws out meat and apples at you. This is just a, what's it called? An ender station. Just a redstone burnout clock hooked up to a couple of droppers. Right here, we got an auto smelter, so if I go ahead and throw this meat in here and grab some coal from my inventory, give me a moment, right here, there we go. Okay, and if I put it in this fuel input up here, and it will start cooking things up, and everything comes out this into that chest right there, so you'll see that dropper is spitting it out into there, if there was a chest there. Just go and replace that and let it do its thing. Over here we have the shulker box swapper, which is pretty much the same thing from his dirt hut video, from Mumbo's dirt hut video, except it only goes through 3 of them. So if you'll see, there's a red one, a green one, a blue one, and back to the red one. This is simply because there was some sort of glitch with the redstone where it wouldn't work properly with 5, so I just modified it to 3. Last thing in this room is the display here. So let's just reset it and then put these items on 3 for the apple and 6 for the iron ingot. And then if we pull that lever there, it will light up the display, but we won't do that just yet. I want to save that for the end because it's absolutely brilliant. Right around here we have some recycling, we have some bins. We got some bins. Both of these are just waste bins. I think in the UK, like, this is your plant waste bin. So if you want to dispose of anything biodegradable, just throw it in there. This is just general waste. Let's chuck it in there. But this one, this is their recycling bin. So what I did, instead of having them all delete their items, I decided to make it so that you can reclaim your items from this bin if ever you want to do so. So just throw that in there, and it will be saved for later until you press this button, at which point it will dispense its item out the top. One at a time, of course. Obviously I had some, apparently I put some armor in there, but there we go. There is our green wool block that I just chucked in there. We got it back. Now these two work off of a fairly simple system. All of them have minecart hoppers pulling the items through down into their hoppers. The waste bins have comparator outputs from their droppers that go around, fire off the droppers, and spit their items out into these cactuses. This one, however, is locked up by this redstone signal, which turns off when you press the button up here. Turns off long enough to allow one item to go through, and it will allow the item to go into this dropper right here. Once it's full, it fires off. It sends out a redstone signal to fire off this dropper, then these two. So the item goes from this hopper, or the hoppers behind it, and all the way back up here. And I'm sorry, I just bumped my mic because I was rubbing my nose, because I got a lot of hair and it is in my nose. But anyways, up in the stairwell here, we have 2 contraptions, my favorite of which, so I mean, like, this one's more complicated, but this is my favorite. It's just so great. Like, you got colored particles coming out of your lights. Who does not want that? And then over here we got an elytra launcher. So the way this works is if I press this button here, that slime block launches up. Well, first of all, the wall pulls back. This slime block launches up, and this slime block pushes you out through this large gap. So if I go ahead and grab some elytra here real quick, put them on, and hopefully this works. It is a bit finicky sometimes. There we go. And you saw I got a little bit of flight there. Let's just go back inside and move on to the next thing. I'll go ahead and press this button one more time just so that you guys can see what it is, how it works, okay? So it's basically two double piston extenders right out the back here, and repeater lays for the slime for the launchers. Here's the bathroom, his bathroom. And we got two things in here, or 1.5, whatever you want to call it. They're both linked up into each other, but this one can operate separately from the other one. So if I press this shower button here, then it activates the shower and automatically closes the window so that nobody can peek in on you while you're taking your lovely shower. And then if I go like that, works just fine. Oh, and in case you were wondering, yes, it does stay closed no matter what while the shower is going on. I just think that's absolutely brilliant. Over in the bedroom here, we got how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, I think. Let me go and fix this up real quick. I forgot to fix it last time. There we go. Okay, I think it's 5. I don't know. Anyways, over here we have the fairly ridiculous, silly daft potion brewing station, which, well, it's absolutely ridiculous. And if you saw that big mess of bricks outside, that's all for this. So if I go ahead and flip this around to whichever number I want it to, say I want 4 speed, then I put 3 times. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, and this will give me a speed potion if I press this button right here. And then it starts a whole brewing process, which we will come back to later. And for right now, let's go ahead and take a look at some of the other contraptions in the room, namely this this armor equipper over here. So press this. Oh my gosh. Oh, that's okay. Well, that's in there, sure. Yep. And anyways, just standard armor equipper with some pumpkin head. Well, the one pumpkin head I placed in here, obviously that's the one that gets dispensed onto me. Over here, if we flick this lever, first of all, let's go ahead and set it to night. So time set night. If I flick this lever right here, these lights will turn off, and a whole mess of glowstone lamps will start going a disco underneath this carpet here. And some crazy music comes on. But yeah, you can see the lights spiraling around. You can see those lights are off. You can hear the music, obviously. Let's go and... that's better. Time set day. There we go. I think, yep, the potions are ready. We got speed potions of swiftness. Let's go ahead and pop them into our Super Cooler 9000! Just to, you know, pull them off for later. Potions are never good. Warm, you always gotta have them nice and cool. It's not... Why aren't you opening up? Oh. Oh, wait, it must be full. There we go. Okay. Go ahead and take out some of these other drinks for now. Pop these in here. We gotta fill it up slowly, or else we run the risk of jamming the system. But yeah, to avoid jamming the system, it just closes automatically when it does get full. So that's just 2 droppers, well, 1 dropper down there that runs it up into the second dropper, and these 2 droppers are full of items. This is the input for the whole system. Honestly, I didn't know what this was, Mumbo, so I made it a super cooler. Okay, and I think that should... Oh, right, we got one more thing to go through. One more thing. The display I showed you earlier, the one I primed up. Well, if we flip this lever right here, we get a mustache. Oh, it's great. I was gonna love this. I mean, I don't see why you wouldn't love this. But, yeah, that's about it. That's everything done and dusted. Showed you guys everything. Now, if you will stick around, let's go for an explanation of everything. So right out here, we got the, well, not everything, just the things that need an explanation. Right around here, we got the mustache display, which works on Well, we got the lever behind this block, and we got two item frames behind this block. So these comparators take outputs from the item frames and run them into these redstone repeaters, which turn off these redstone torches. Both of them need to be turned off, and that will allow this signal to be deactivated, which will allow these redstone torches to activate their respective redstone lamps. Now, you need to it needs to be the exact right number, because if you flip the items inside the item frames too many times, it goes out here and runs around and locks up the clocks, and locks up the repeaters so that they will not send out a signal. So if I put a redstone torch here, it activates both of them, and you'll see that this one is not sending a signal into this block. Okay? And if you flick the lever too early and then try turning the items to the appropriate positions, well, tough luck, because that will also lock up the system. Quite clever, really. Up here, we got the no, not the super cool 9000. It's the fairly ridiculous, silly daft potion brewing station, which is absolutely ridiculous. In essence, it's the same principle. Comparator output from the item frame, and this will send out a signal. This will send out a signal to its dropper and lock up the signal behind it. This will send out a signal to the third dropper and lock up both signals behind it, so on and so forth. This one sends out a signal to its dropper over here and locks up all the other signals going into the other droppers behind it, so that only one item gets dispensed. Now around here, this was a new experience for me. I had to design this myself, because, well, I didn't really have to. I don't know, I designed it myself for the most part, and I've had to figure out how to get a hopper clock to work to lock up this hopper right here, so that it wouldn't take the water bottles out of the brewing stand before it was ready to do so. So basically, what I did, items in this hopper that will transfer over into this hopper when this hopper has an item in it. So that's the full stack in here to a full stack in here. When this hopper has something in it, it will lock up this hopper and unlock this hopper, so all the items get transferred over here and stay here. And then, once the item leaves that hopper, these items start going back into this one, and once the last one leaves, it sends out it releases its output, because while it's full, this redstone block right here will send a signal into that block, into this hopper, to lock it up. Well, that was, did I get that? Did I get all that? I think I did. Yeah. And every time you hit the button, because the signal isn't locked up until right around there, you can use the first part of the signal to send out a short pulse to allow nether wart from this chest to go through a single nether wart. That's all we need. And then, as you may have guessed, all these hoppers, droppers up here are filled with various brewing items. Swoosh. Yeah, that should do it. So, I hope you guys like this. I hope, Mumbo, that you like it. But all that being said, have a blessed day / evening. Ta-ta.